that was about me.
Yeah.
So tell me about you. You also had a very exciting journey.
I've been born and raised in Delhi. I went to Delhi University, studied history. My exposure started while I was in school only. I started working into events. Worked with the company for 2 years. I was in and around Delhi and Dubai. I think while I was working with that company, we met for the first time. That's how we know each other. So it was nice. I had a nice exposure, nice experience with that company too. But then it was not my calling at the end. Then somehow I quit my job and I went for my first solo trip. I was very excited about because one of my cousin's sister, she's based out of London. So she made me very excited about going on a solo. And we were young only. She's my age, similar. So back then she was traveling the world solo, all alone, and it was very exciting to hear her stories from my family all around. So every time we were sitting in for dinner or something, it's all about her. Oh, now she's in France, now she's in Italy, now she's in US, now she's going to South America, all of that. Now Southeast Asia. So she made me really excited about it. So I said, okay, let's do it. So I planned the itinerary around for like more than a month or something to travel solo in Southeast Asia. And I went, my first destination obviously to be Thailand because it was closer to India. Went there, first time, stayed in a hostel, experienced something totally unique, totally new, which never did in India before. Before that, I used to travel a lot with my family. Like a lot means like at least once in 3 months, for sure. Majorly in India, but yes, traveled a lot.
You had never seen something like this?
Never seen, because like I went there, I think within an hour or so, I made a very good friend. After a few hours, I think we were a group of good 7-8 people. So basically, I thought that this is my calling on my first day.
Acha.
So I think my itinerary was to be there for more than a month. I ended up coming back within 3 days or something.
Oh no, okay.
Because I was so excited about this whole idea that we can get something this like in India, and it's going to be one of a kind, and it's going to be awesome. It's it was really fascinating. So then I came back. Then I started my real journey in India. Then I realized that okay, now I'm like 2-3 years late. Also, it's not like that people have started doing this. Industry, yes. Was there already, and there were few hostels, few brands who started working on this, but very few, like one hostel, 2 hostel maximum per brand, and all over the place. Like few were in Goa, few were in Rajasthan. Basically, places what I had seen at that point of time, because Indians didn't know about this industry or this, like somebody like hostel. When you used to call hostel, people used to think that it's like a student accommodation hostel or something like that, like a PG. But eventually, when at that point of time people were running hostels, and they were majorly foreigners who were staying in these properties, because Indians had no exposure at that point of time.
Correct. Of traveling like this, and even traveling that much.
Yeah, like backpackers or like, in budget, and purposely staying in these properties where you have shared accommodation so that you can meet more people. There was no concept like that. So very fun. I think I spent around 6 months, traveled to different places in India, explored these properties all by my own.
Nice, huh?
So then finally decided to open in Rishikesh. Obviously, sometimes the luck is not with you. Every time everything was decided, arranged some funds for my savings from friends and family, all of that, did that. Signed one property in Rishikesh. Something bad happened after 6 months. It got cancelled.
Oh no.
So now when I look back, I had given a year, but that year was totally worth it because I learned so much. Within that year, I remember I started working with a hostel too. So I went just to see how are they doing things, what softwares they're using, what are the SOPs they're maintaining, what is the hierarchy of the staff. So I did all of that. I did my groundwork very, very proper. So then finally I found my first property in Manali.
Wow.
And this was obviously after researching and traveling, all doing jobs in different hostels as well. and then coming all together and finally got the prize, got one property, started that. I think we turned that property around within a month.
Acha.
We were like, I took the team from Delhi because I was not sure how Himachal would work out for like getting everything together. So I made a team here of 15 people, went there with them, stayed a month, worked 24/7 for a month, and turned the property around totally. I remember at that time it was 14 to 16 rooms. So we were able to take out good 60-65 people occupancy. And we were the biggest at that time when we opened. So I kept a name which was very international. From the start, I made the brand identity. I can easily copy paste because I knew that I could foresee that I'm going to expand this and take it to multi locations. Then we opened in September in 2018 only. This is when you started your co-working, and I think similar time. I think my repeat rate was more than 60% because most of the people used to come there for 2 days even, ended up not even staying less than a week. So we were able to create a very nice experience, one of its kind.
Because Indians are also exploring this industry, so for them it must be like, safe also, it's comfortable
Very
and friendly, and you can be on your own also.
At that point of time, I remember I had like a 55-inch plasma in my common area and with the PlayStation 4 in 2018. That was very catchy, and I think we had like 2 beer pong tables, and then we came up with the bar also after a year in the same property. So everything was going very well, and then finally I decided that I need to expand. But then obviously I needed some external support. So I started talking to one of this international brand who wanted to come to India at that point of time. I went there again for 15-20 days, saw their properties, and they were doing a fab job. And I got very excited to see that the experience they are able to create. I came back and COVID happened. And obviously the conversations went off, totally off. Everything got shut. And I got stuck in Manali with my staff. So then we got stuck. COVID it hit us really bad. People make stories of that, how bad it was for hospitality and tourism. Imagine how bad it was for young entrepreneurs and who had invested majorly everything in their one start. And I'm sure there will be a lot of more people like me at that point of time who struggled a lot because of this. So then I came back to Delhi, figuring out what to do. My property was taken care of. I was getting a regular income from there. And because this chulla I have has always been there.
Impatient and restless.
Restless, impatient, and always want to do something right there, right now. Finish it. Somehow I was talking to my friend on the phone from US, and he was telling me about this e-commerce boom, and we were talking about this company called Shopify, who was making billions of dollars in Canada, and very soon it became one of the biggest companies in Canada. So I said, what do? They help you make websites. I said, very nice. The same day, I did a course on that thing, learned how to make a website. I started a clothing store next day. I remember. And this time, because I didn't want to do it alone, so I also got 2 of my friends on board. Let's do this. So very funny. Within a week, we were able to bring everything together. I went to clothing, totally opposite, and did everything myself because I had time. COVID, you were sitting home, you had nothing to do. I found suppliers, I made the website. We took a warehouse on rent, got some, material to sell. Yeah, and we did it for 3 months, and within 3 months, we were able to sell all the inventory we had. So it was nice. But again, you do some mistakes, you learn from major of your mistakes. But because everybody had something else to do, so nobody could actually concentrate. I was doing it, but then after the point, it felt like, when I would want them, if you want to scale this, I would want
you were not getting that input and the energy and time that this business required.
Because we were getting orders on daily basis, everything was going on. We made the whole supply chain very seamless and very quickly. So we were able to do that. But thank God, because everything you do in life, it helps you in some or other way. Then post that, I think that's when we met. Then you put some story on Instagram, and then I texted you, and then we had a meeting, and ended up. Then I got to know that, okay, what's your story, how you started your co-working, and then you got to know about me, how I started my hostel, and I was still very excited about this space because you can't let it go. I knew that some or the other day I'm going to get back and do it in a better way possible at that point of time. And looking for a stable partner, which was very, very important, which can, like both the partners has to be, there has to be very, very different from each other in terms of their skill sets. Yes. Also, they have to have the, like, if you're doing this full time, then both of you should do it full time. It can't be like one of is like, अच्छा मेरा तो side business है, but मैं full time कर रहा हूँ. ऐसा नहीं चल पाता long period of time. So I think that synergies of both of us at that point of time, that was perfect. That was on point, and because of that, we were able to do. And then we came up with this that okay, let's try bringing both the ideas together. Your co-working space, my hostel accommodation space, and then see what we can bring down. So I got really excited at that point of time that okay, now this is going to be something different also, which nobody's doing, which is a one-stop solution. And by then, post-COVID, this co-working boom and this tourism boom was crazy. All these, I remember post-COVID, the brands who were running with 4-5 properties, suddenly they became like so 30, used 40, like 50, 20, 30 properties.
And the whole travel dynamic has changed.
Now in our industry, like pre-COVID, which was 60-70% foreigners, now they are less than 15-20%, and now majorly Indians are traveling for a change. This hybrid working culture is on a roll.
So so you have seen, like, let's say you've been in hospitality for the past 5-6 years now.
Almost a decade now.
Almost a decade. How have you seen a transition, and what are you expecting?
So recently, I've seen a report where I think it's in Tatwa, I'm not sure, but millennials are spending most amount of money for traveling.
Acha, okay.
They want to travel more. They want to experience new, and and there is no age. Now, I remember I went on my first solo, which was post my graduation, after working for 2 years, which was good. I'll be like 23, 22, something like that. So now I'm seeing people, they are started traveling when they are just right after high school, or probably in high school. They, like, people are getting that exposure. So I remember I met a girl in one of our properties. She was in 10th standard. I had a chutti of like 4 days, and I came for my first solo in 10th standard. So that's the dynamics which are changing. And then you see people who are 36, 37. I'm an engineer working for a US company. I travel around, see new places, chill, work from wherever I want. This is what people want: flexibility. People want to experience something new or the other in each and every location. They want to move. They don't want to stay at one place now. They want to move. And if you see that this concept is actually cheaper than getting a PG in a Bangalore or a flat in Noida or Gurgaon. Right? You can actually travel to all our destinations and work from there. It will still be cheaper for you
than to living
end of the month. So I think that is one of the major factor, which is very, very affordable for each and every person. Doesn't matter you're a student or you are working. And even now, because there's one more theory that people now travel a lot in groups, smaller groups, like 3-4 friends, 4-5 friends, those. And for those also, because earlier what used to happen was, if you want to travel in a group, then you have to like take 2 rooms, 3 rooms for yourself. Now you can do is like you can just book a whole dorm bed.
And you get more space actually.
You get more space, you get privacy again within your group. So it works out really well for each and every kind of traveler. And the idea of getting an experience of meeting a stranger in your trip while traveling. That is something which you can't explain also, which you can't justify also, because you have to experience it yourself to understand what does it mean to meet a stranger and be friends for life. I still remember I have many friends while I was managing my own
and you
property.
still like close to, still talk to them.
Yeah, obviously. Stay in touch.
Yeah.
You stay in touch. I think that, and somebody is in India again, they are gonna text me for sure, call me,
Nice.
and I'm gonna meet them. It's like that. So it becomes like that. So it's very, very fascinating also, and very, very satisfying in a way. I would say like a therapy, the best therapy you can get in the world.
Traveling. Yeah, true.
Even when we met, I didn't know that I don't think we both of us thought that within next 2 years we're gonna be sitting here and chatting about now we have 8 locations pan India. It seems like we've come a long way, but still seems like we're just starting up. So now when I look back, I see that me personally, have come a far away. Now with 8 locations, being a prominent brand in this industry, it feels great also, but still I would say that even after spending so much time in this industry from the start, learning never goes away.
That's true.
I'm still learning, still figuring out how we can make our experience better in our properties, how we can stand out in terms of our competition, and how we can make something where people will remember for life. And I would definitely want people to come and try us and give us a chance and come back again
To our experience.
But this industry is doing really well.
Yeah, the space is growing a lot, and in terms of everything, like whether it is the market cap of this industry or the consumer experience of this industry or the sort of brand or the quality that it's a tough competition for us also now to be working here.
But I think competition has been very healthy in terms of making this industry recognizable in Indian mindset.
Correct.
Because one person or one brand couldn't have done this. You need a lot of people, a lot of brands to come in and actually force people to see that this is something new.
Yeah. Alternative accommodation
is the future. And I would give credit to all of our industry for making this possible. Yeah. I know that we still have a long way to go. We are just starting up. I think now this industry has already closed the first decade. And now I think the next decade is gonna be for this alternate accommodations only. For us, all I would like to do is, it's not about number of properties for me, but it's about the experience we should be able to make for each and every customer coming to our properties in different locations.
Yeah.
So if we are able to cater that, I think that would be great.